premature voting. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. You granted people access to vote. So how is it possible that people started voting prematurely? But those are the reasons they gave. And they said, listen, you don't have to reapply because we have your application already for nomination, so it will be considered. And one of the things I found out, Ras Clem, was they had changed some of the rules like 2 days before, because I had announced that I was going to run, and they changed the rules. And so they came back and they later said, actually, I wrote to them twice, and I said, hey, I think you're going to reject me. I haven't gotten a letter. Please send me the letter. And then on social media, I found out that I was not selected as one of the candidates to go forward for the second election, which is underway right now.
Right.
And so when I saw that, and I went online and I saw that my picture wasn't there, and I kept saying, where's my rejection letter? And then I got my rejection letter, and the rejection letter simply said that, unfortunately, we weren't, we didn't consider you a candidate. You're rejected based on, it says, essentially the manual. We're rejecting you based on the manual. However, their rules clearly state that when you reject somebody, you have to send them an email with evidence of the rejection. You have to tell them why. To this day, they haven't told me why.
So let me ask you a question, Mr. Rattigan. From the time of the first election to the cancellation, how much time passed by before the next election got started?
It was, I think, like a few weeks.
A few weeks.
Yeah, a few weeks, yeah.
Now, from the first list of candidates who were up there with you, are they still involved? Those candidates are still in the race?
I am the only candidate who was not in the race. Of the 4 people that originally were placed on the website to compete for the Northeast region, yes, I'm the only candidate who was not there. And go back to your question. I think it was, let me say, it started, the voting started, I think, I have to go back and look, but November. So it was like maybe January. It was like a little over a month.
Right.
Between the time they ended it and the time they restarted it.
Right. Now it's kind of, I'm asking you this because we engage you here as a candidate. And I remember looking on the Foreign Ministry's website, and there were 4 candidates there. I'm not privy to what you are saying on the radio now in terms of your communication with whoever you were communicating with. Yes, what we saw in the paper is that there was a pause in the election. They said something regarding the election prematurely started, the voting prematurely started, and now the official election is up and running. Where do we go from here, Mr. Rattigan? Or where do you go? Or where do you go from here?
Well, that's a good question. What I'm doing right now is just looking at all of this in totality and still trying to figure out what really happened, because because you cannot be on the website unless you're vetted, right? So I was vetted, and then several weeks later, they said no. He's ineligible, and I'm going, what did I do between the time that they put me up on the website to the time that they decided I was ineligible, which you're talking about a matter of weeks. I'm trying to figure out what really happened, and so it's taking me some time. But Ras Clem, there's something a little bit more. There's something more than that. About 2 weeks ago, I started getting phone calls about something having to do with the Gleaner, saying that 2 candidates were rejected, and one was rejected for late filing and the other was rejected because of a criminal conviction and bankruptcy. So people started calling me because they knew that my filing was timely. My filing was timely because I was there before, and then the committee wrote to me and said, okay, we're still going to consider. You don't have to reapply. And I put that on my program. I put up the letter and I notified thousands of people, right? So they knew that it wasn't me that filed late. So they're saying, well, you then must be the guy who have the criminal conviction and have the bankruptcy filing. And it was embarrassing because people, even friends of mine, started calling me. And Ras Clem, it was, they call, and here's the typical call. Yeah, Ratty, I hope people file bankruptcy, man. You know, I don't know. And then eventually they said, but are you file bankruptcy? And I'm saying to myself, all right, you have criminal conviction. I mean, never know to you that. Wow. And it's just, and then remember, no, I'm an attorney, right? And my stock in trade is what? Is my time and experience, right? And my currency is my reputation. Right. And it's been impacted by this. And then the Gleaner came back and put up a second story saying, oh, we're doing an update. And the regulation that we quoted, it's now the section that we're using now, the subsection has to do with this candidate does not have a good reputation. It says that I have it right there. They said that we don't have a good reputation and that. And basically, you know, people should just stay away from me. And and it's just it's just hit after hit after hit.
You know, I'm saying whoa, because if there's a process of me getting involved in such an election to be the diaspora representative, and I submit my candidacy and they vetted me and something happened, and you know, eventually they take me off, and articles are run in the paper saying this and saying that about me, I would question it too. And one of the reasons why you're here this morning, and the main reason why you're here this morning, is because I got a few phone calls. I got WhatsApp messages saying that, you know, the election is up and running and we don't see Mr. Rattigan's name on the list. We don't see Mr. Rattigan's photo. And you, Ras Clem, have engaged him on your program, presented him as a candidate, and now the election is going on. We'd like to know what's happening. Hence, you're here this morning to explain what really happened. So, you know, I'm a person that believes in accountability and transparency, and I think we owe this to our listening audience, and that's why you're here. And I know you've been talking about it, discussing it on you know, your program on a Saturday evening on Reggae Global Radio, starting at 3 p.m. every Saturday, and it is something that I would love to get someone from the council, from the committee, to really come and talk about this. And maybe it will happen after the election. I'm not sure. Maybe I could find the president of the committee and see if he or she wants to engage us and talk about what happened to your candidacy. But I'm sure that we're going to hear a lot more about this down the road. So we're going to keep our ears to the ground and keep in tune. Keep in tune. And you know, as the news break, we will present it, and hopefully, if anything big come from this, you'll come back and talk to us about it. Promise, sir?
For sure, I will.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, attorney at law, retired FBI special agent, Mr. Will Rattigan. You know, it's funny. I got a WhatsApp message this morning. I'm going to call the gentleman name, Dane Rose. He actually sent me a message this morning, says, when are you going to bring Mr. Rattigan on the program again? Just this morning, you know. So good morning, Dane. Yeah, man. So I hope this can work itself out, because just like the president posted yesterday, Thursday night, about Michelle and Barack Obama, former first lady and former president, and then he's saying that he took it down. The damage is already done. The article was out there, same way the post was up there on the president's social media page. People screenshot it, people share it, and people are talking. So I understand where you're coming from. So keep us in tune, Mr. Rattigan, huh?
I will. Thank you for having me on.
One love, my friend. You take care.
Stay warm.
One love. You too. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end, of our talk segment. That was Open Forum Community Talk. That was Mr. Will Rattigan, attorney at law. He was a former candidate in the race for the Global Diaspora Representative. Some news item before we go. CNN, Donald Trump threatens to sue comedian Trevor Noah over an Epstein joke. President Donald Trump threatened to sue comedian Trevor Noah for making a joke at the Grammys, last Sunday, connecting Mr. Trump to the convicted sex offender. Mr. Trump says, I didn't do anything wrong. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie. And this one comes from the Hill. Marjorie Taylor Greene says MAGA was all a lie. The former Republican Congresswoman from Georgia says that MAGA is a lie. And President Donald Trump's sole responsibility and obligation is to his wealthy supporters. Wow, this is like a joke. What is really going on? This one comes from the Jamaica Observer. The answer is nope. We're not coming back. A highly qualified Jamaican nurse, a highly qualified Jamaican nurse who left Jamaica for greener pastures in the United States 20 years ago. Well, she has a frank message for the Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton. She says regarding to the minister call for nurses to come back home, she says the answer is no. She is not going home, and many nurses says they're not going home. That is their choice. CNN, Elon Musk's social media platform, X, X has been, their office over there in France was raided, by investigators this past week, ladies and gentlemen. What is really going on, man? Some things are happening around the world. President Donald Trump told Republicans this week that they should nationalize, future election in at least 15 states. But then the president in interviews after that says, I don't know. But listen, hey, Jill Biden, what's going on with Jill Biden's ex-husband? And I wonder how this made the news, because they've been divorced now for quite some time. He's been charged with murder. He's been charged with murder. You see how many places are shutting down? How many jobs are going, ladies and gentlemen? There's also a noted restaurant chain here in America. I think it's Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut is closing many of his stores. Bill Gates' wife said Mr. Gates need to answer questions about his connection with Jeffrey Epstein. Bitcoin is losing its value, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin is stumbling, and it's making Wall Street a little bit nervous. Bitcoin is at its lowest since 2024. Wednesday, February 4th, was known as World Cancer Day. We pause and say a prayer for anyone who's going through cancer. The son of Muammar Gaddafi was killed. Saif Gaddafi was shot and killed at his home in Libya, in northwestern Libya. He was 53 years old. Former City Council Speaker has been now tapped for Lieutenant Governor. Governor Kathy Hochul has now selected former City Council Speaker Adrian Adams to be her running mate. Yes, indeed. Mitch McConnell, who's 83 years old, he was hospitalized this week with flu-like symptoms. Mitch, I think you should resign, sir. I think you should retire, sir. There's widespread measles taking place in the South. Widespread layoff coming to the Washington Post. There's so much that is happening. Ronald Reagan's oldest son, Michael Reagan, he died. This happened about 2 weeks ago. Rest in peace, my friend. Rest in peace. Pressure is mounting on St. Lucia's prime minister. Pressure is mounting on all these guys. There will be a service for Claudette Cloven at the Abyssinian Baptist Church. She recently died at age 86. You heard me talk about it earlier on, ladies and gentlemen. So pay attention. Pay attention to your surroundings, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take this time to say thanks. Thanks to each and every one who made it possible for our Groovin Radio's presentation this Saturday morning. Musically this morning, you heard from Robert Nestamali, who would have celebrated his 81st birthday yesterday if he had lived. In our community engagement segment, you heard from the president of the St. Andrew Technical Alumni Association Northeast Chapter, Mrs. Melanie Forrest George, who spoke about the week of activities down in Jamaica, starting on the 12th of April, and it will it will run until the 18th of April in Jamaica. Ladies and gentlemen, you got brand new music from Travis Roots. It's called Struggles. We got the news courtesy of the Jamaica Information Services. Miss Joy Kelly presented the news this Saturday morning. Anthony Turner brought us entertainment report. Thank you so much, Anthony Turner. And then on My Check this morning, Black History presentation, we were joined by noted professor, author, and education advocate, Dr. Bernard Gassaway joined us. You got a brand new song from Zamunda. It's called Roots Rock Reggae alongside Phantom Mosier. And then you just heard from attorney at law, Mr. Will Rattigan, talking about his candidacy, which is now rejected at the Global Diaspora Council election. My closing remarks this Saturday morning comes from Lisa Marie. Take a listen to Lisa Marie, and then we'll wrap this Saturday morning. It's Groovin Radio with Ras Clem. Thank you so much.
You know, my baby, many people want to be called, anointed, positioned in spaces where nothing but greatness covers their head all the way down to the bottom of their feet. But you know, those who wish for that gift and that anointing don't know what it's like to battle things behind the scenes. And see, they witness greatness and the overpouring of the realm of possibilities, but never considering the hell they had to fight through in order to get to some kind of peace. And see, everyone wants to show up well, highlighted in conversations, invited into spaces, having, you know, their faces known for a gift that people struggle to obtain. And it's a heavy positioning, one that requires for others to abstain from the very thing that people can enjoy with no convictions to their spirit. And we live in a time where people want to hold the mantle, but can't handle the responsibility that comes with it. It ain't no shiny prize that one gets to show off in the palm of their hands or on the four corners of their room. It's a pulling of a spirit and a life that must intentionally stand in while God keeps pulling and pushing them through. And baby, you can shout and perform pretending that the anointing is covering you, because performing on stages and on digital devices is very easy to do. But you don't know what it feels like to be given a gift but stripped down to the raw, bare naked of God showing you yourself, and then the possibilities of a great fall if you don't hold it well. Or how many people will attack you for the gift that they don't understand? How they will try to emulate you, mirror your actions, and move behind the scenes to make sure your light will never shine bright again. How one fights the darkness when they're truly just simply a light. And how many punishments they'll experience harshly compared to others who can walk through that same thing very light. They want the gift and the anointing, but don't want the experience. They want to be visible, but they run from the mirror. So, you know, before you elect to borrow the suit of a person who is covered in the gift and the anointing, ask yourself, could you walk a lifetime in spiritual warfare and still show up unbroken?
Indeed.
I'll wait.
Thank you so much, Lisa Marie. Thank you so much. We will leave you this morning with Fate. Mr. Willis Stewart, formerly of Third World and Friends. Brand new music. It's called Fate.
You can make a difference in someone's life. You can touch a heart and hidden deep inside. You can make the impossible be so right. Gotta have faith. We're gonna have some faith.
Until next Saturday morning, 9 a.m., my name is Ras Clem. Stay warm, ladies and gentlemen. And if you'd like to join us in church tomorrow, the Abyssinian Baptist Church, service starts at 10.
Everything drop off, look boy, get them and fix it and right again. Oh, we need faith. I'm talking about faith. Oh, yeah. You can make a difference in someone's life. You can touch a heart and hidden deep inside. You can make the impossible be so right. Gotta have faith. We're gonna have some faith. You gotta have a little faith. Oh my. Gotta have some faith. It'll be all right. Have a little faith. You can make the light in someone's darkest night. You can be the light. You can turn a baby's cry into a smile. You can be a blessing of the sunshine so bright. Have faith. Yeah. All it takes is a little faith. You got to have faith. Yeah, it'll be all right. Have a little faith. We've come so far, return but now. We've been through good and bad. So far, ooh, somehow we've made it. It's up to me and you to make that change. To see the miracles we're hoping for. Just believe, trust in love, hold it fine. Oh, you gotta have a little faith. Oh, got to have faith. Oh, my.
Style, I strictly rubber dubber where they want, so give them where they want, make them go, and this a bass I make you walk on a wine, girl, this a bass I make you feel so fine, if you no mind, meet me 8:45, and this a bass I make you walk on a wine, and this a bass I make you feel so fine. If you no mind, meet me 8:45. The people them say too much lyrics for me mind. Jaman we have to give them in a different design.
Because I way down calypso or I way down funky. Cause them a reggae music rock even monkey. Chatama Santa yana pita. Clang bang diddly tama Santa yana pita. Clang bang diddly talk up on the version.
Hey! No mind, meet me 8:45. The people them a sing up the lyrics for me mind. If you no mind, meet me 8:45. Cause this a bass and make you feel so fine. Cause little girl, we have to get you tonight. You run left for me the other night. Cause little girl, we have to get you tonight. You run left for me the other night.
Cause it's a strictly rubber dubbing on the park. This a strictly rubber dub in the park.
Jatama Santa and a fit talk. Jatama Santa and a fit walk.
Jatama seem tall and a tie him short. Jatama seem tall and a tie him short. Jatama Santa and a fit talk. Bang with the Jatama Santa and a fit walk.
I go give them in a rubber dub style.
Where we say?
I go give them in a rubber dub style.
What do you like that?
Give them in a different style. Little girl, me happy get you tonight. You run left me the other night. Hey, little girl, me happy get you tonight.
Because why?
You know mind me the quarter tonight.
Oh, you know.
Them a say no for lyrics for me mind. The people them say no for lyrics for me mind. We have to give them in a different design. Hey!
We chat one time, we no chat two time. We chat one time, we no chat two time. Say too much lyrics in our mind.
Hey!
Bang with the too much lyrics in our mind.
So say, so play, so make, so say, so say. I go give them where they want, make them go. Hey! So give them where they want, make them go.
Bill! Chatama Santa yana pita, bang bang with the Tama Santa yana pi walk. Why? Katama seem tall and a tie him short. Cause strictly rubber dub, come free break them heart. Say Tama Santa yana pi walk, bang bang with the Tama Santa yana pi talk. Say Tama Santa yana pi walk.
I go give them in a rubber dub style, hey. I go give them in a different style, hey.
They're trying to figure out just how I do it. And from the corner of their eyes, they watch me through it. And why as soon as I arrive, a room full of girls get energized. They can't fathom in their minds why girls flock to me every time. I'm like a walking razor, don't you watch my size? I'm dangerous, dangerous. Yeah, man, a stepping